harmony in the center, light and dark, controlling all four squares. G6 is looking, it's a light brick, but clearly with dark intentions. Controlling the diagonal, dark. Play knight f3. I think this is blue first. And then bishop here. Okay, fighting for dark. Dark is a big color here. I mean, you gotta sometimes have to evaluate what is the main color, what is the more important color, and hard to say, I guess. But what would be an opinion? What color is more valuable? Move one, I think, is exactly even, right? I think it's fair. But as it moves, position goes, one color is often a little bit more valuable than the other. Does anyone have an opinion about which color?
Dark.
Okay, why?
Because of the black. Well, black is all his moves are pointing to the d4 square
Yeah.
so far, and white's gonna try to do something about that, but it's gonna take him. It's
Yeah, I
gonna
mean,
take.
it could change, but the color that your opponent's king is on.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Just what king h1, and something dark is like, hey, my king's safe. I don't know about you, but I don't feel dark is too important anymore. Yeah, if you lose a dark bishop, you take your king off dark. Basically saying, like, it's not just an immediate check. You're just basically saying there's nothing to look at here. Nothing, you know? So, in this position, I think partly because he's weakened the center battles on dark, and I'd love, if I'm white, to get rid of this bishop. Okay, he's weak on the king side. So if I had a chance to trade my bishop for his bishop, for argument's sake, I'd love to do it, right? Trade my knight for his bishop, love to do it. Trade my bishop for bishop, not actually gaining anything, but I'm still happy. Right, I'm still happy. Get rid of his defender. What about trading a bishop for a knight? What about trading a light bishop for a knight? Well, it doesn't seem like it does much, right? It's just, that's something separate, right? But is that true? If you trade a light square bishop for a knight, you're losing $0 of dark. You're gaining $500 of dark in return. Okay? Is that clear?
And losing the $1,000 of black.
You lose it. So the investment, 1,000 light for 500, 500. So the net result is you're losing 500 light in return for 500 dark, which we said we wanted to do. Right? You're losing bishop here. We don't maybe consider it, but it's good here. Now, the fact of the matter is, theory says bishop b5 is one of the main moves. Okay? And, well, maybe we'd ask why, and why do we do it? Double pawns, but I think there's a lot more. Maybe control the center, but I think there's a lot more to it. That we're investing in dark for one day attacking the king. This bishop versus knight is intended for the king side. For one day have an extra attacker to bombard the dark squares of the king. If the pawn were back on g7, I don't know how good the trade is. That's just, right? So, I think it's an interesting way. Again, these concepts in general, kind of not too hard to keep in mind. To use is harder. How to use it, when to use it. Of course, it takes a bit of practice and time to think about it. But I think it could be a help. It could definitely, at least you have a guide, some guide to chess. Otherwise, it still feels weird. No guide, but it has some help.
I think you might have to play a4 here to stop the pawn from coming
B5?
b5.
Okay, take it. I mean, maybe. Yeah, but a4 is actually an interesting move. But I think, I don't know, honestly, I don't know the theory. They usually castle first. Yeah, b5 does make sense.
Well, that's my whole point, because you just got the two bishops.
Right. So then a4. a4 created a move too, because
if you play a4,
why didn't you play a5 next? Yeah.
right, pawn and b5, pawn takes pawn, knight takes pawn, and they can take because all takes rook.
Takes rook, yeah. That's good, yeah. Really nice. Knight f6. Yeah, it's possible. And we might attack on the king side. We also, this pawn on c5 might get weak. Now we lost a light square bishop. So when we lose a bishop, what do we got to do? We're getting all happy about dark, but we don't have the light bishop. We got to be also consider that we're behind on a color too.
So D3 would be.
D3, right?
Building.
And we're building a
Mini
mini
bishop.
bishop. Yeah. Okay, interesting. Now black is behind on what color? This is kind of black is behind on
Dark.
dark, right? And I will say just how I feel is the easiest way for me. Always just look at like Silman says, Jeremy Silman. I'm familiar with Jeremy Silman.
Yeah.
Imbalance. So you look at the two pieces which are different. So you both have a king, you both have a queen, you both have two rooks. Okay, the Myers, you both have a dark bishop, you both have a knight. The differing pieces is this and this. So you can just kind of, then you do the math and you say we're ahead on dark. Okay? Black, we're ahead on dark, black is behind on dark. What color does black want to put his pawns on? He has to make his own mini bishop to rebuild his lost dark. The same, we rebuild the lost bishop, we also want to rebuild if we're behind on a color. Go ahead.
Question is, might black want to play bishop g4?
It's just gonna come back to equality, maybe. Maybe. Bishop g4 is totally reasonable and just saying, hey, I had enough. I'm just trading back, and I don't want no funny business on dark.
You could play bishop d7, and you could play rook to b8, followed by b5.
Still b5.
Those are good.
Well, if it's white's move, here's a question. If it's white's
black
move,
actually.
usually they play queen e1, queen h4, f5, okay, and bishop h6.
Yeah.
That's a very thematic theme, and again, it's very intense on dark squares. Happens to be this c5 pawn is a little bit tender too. I think if it's white's move, there is a very interesting move to play on both wings, not just the king side, but also the queen side. Does anyone want to venture a move? Now, you can play bishop e3, but then he has maybe b6. I think
E5.
a5. What's it? a5. But a5 I think is kind of cool. Cannot play that anymore, and that's regarding en passant is just too isolated and doubled. And then it nails down this pawn as a weakness. Okay, I call it like a bug in a dasha. Insects, weakness. Insects crawling around. Problem also is not just a weakness. The problem is that black is outmanned on that square. If you do the math, we have eventually 3 minors that could attack it. Even if black does heroic effort, it's only 2 minors to defend it. This bishop is a non-player, does not play on dark.
White, so...
If that happens, maybe then bishop g4. Maybe that's the time to invest, if that makes sense. Okay, clear? Okay. But, again, moral of the story is, when you're ahead in a color, you press that color with pieces, and and the color you're weaker on, you rebuild with
Pawns.
pawns. So if you're losing a bishop, you try and rebuild that missing bishop. And if you're losing maybe, if the other one has extra knight and that gives him maybe more potential on a color, you would actually use pawns to stop that. So if I'm black, so okay, white's trying to play a5, what does black do? How do you stop a5?
B6.
a5. a5 I think reasonable. Reasonable move, and basically saying I'll let you have a4 but no more. And I don't know, this kind of position is, I could go all 3 results possible. Win, loss, or draw. I think black could play for a win here. He could lose, but he could win too. Bishop pair is pretty healthy. This double pawns are not that bad. I don't think they're that bad. Okay, and maybe, maybe one day he plays here in c4. One day he tries to break white's structure, mini bishop. Okay. So that's some ideas of harmony. Now I want to show some games.